Hey, Becky.
I was literally sitting on the other call going, "Where is everyone? No one wants to speak to me." I've got too many tabs open.
It's okay. You just did a lot of brain work just now, so it's acceptable.
Literally, I was like, "There's so many different tools that I want to talk about, and I haven't got time." So I was like, "I'll just speak really fast." But yeah, so as you saw from that, the AI tools handout, I there's lots of them, so I'm always very happy to share whatever I find with people. Mostly I find these tools through TikTok, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not going to download TikTok," but it's been I find it a really good education resource if you can avoid making the algorithm think you really like dancing or dogs or like what else have I got those Am I the arsehole stories? I get them all the time as well. If every time you get an AI video, you watch it, like the algorithm will start giving you more kind of like tools. So that's kind of how I did it. Jenny has a question. Go on, Jenny.
Hi, Becky. Sorry I've not got my camera on. I'm eating, so you don't want to see that. But yes, thanks so much. This is now, I think, the third time I've heard your talk. Just all the different networking events. So I was asked, which tool saves you the most time, would you say?
It's ChatGPT. Literally, like that's so I pay for premium. So I use I know we're not supposed to because of like energy costs and stuff, but I literally use it as a second brain. I see it as a PA, and everything that I need to do, I'll check with it because like two brains are better than one. So ChatGPT will always save you the most. Well, it saves me the most time. But that Gamma, the presentation maker, like when I first saw that, I was so impressed. So yeah, I like maybe Gamma if we're going away from ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's really helpful.
Right then, go on then. What's your question?
I have two questions. Firstly, so you've mentioned the payment of ChatGPT to get the most benefits, but is it, I think you mentioned it briefly on the call, but of the tools that you've sent, were the majority of them paid for, or are they free?
Yeah. So the only things I pay for ChatGPT, the £20 one. I am seeing loads of videos about agents, AI agents so that's a £200 level.
Wow.
Yeah. So that would be a business account. But what you can do is you can like competitor research, for example, you can say to it, I want you to do a competitor analysis on dating apps, and it will literally go and just do a full competitor analysis, put it into like spreadsheets and all that. You can get it to start businesses for you, attach it to like payments. So I have a look on Twitter about AI agents. Like if the videos can be believed, it is very cool. But I have not got £200. So yeah, that's horrible. What else? I pay for Canva because I make birthday cards for people. So every time I've got a little group of people I've collected that will come out and party with me. So every time it's their birthday, I will make them a Canva birthday card. And it helps me when I'm doing my like UI as well. But the rest of them, they're all free. Gamma, I did have to ask lots of people if they would sign up to it at work so I could get credits, because you get a certain amount of credits every month. So I said, can everyone sign up so I can get some more credits? But yeah, if I was using it a lot, I'd pay for Gamma. But the rest of them, yeah, everything else. Oh, sorry, and the only other one would be the Figma tools, because I get a free account because I used to be in education. But I think if you don't have a paid account, you can't use the AI tools. But don't quote me on that.
Okay, cool. Good to know. And it was something that you said earlier that triggered the second question, which was the second brain element. So, how do you feel that's impacting you? So, say all of a sudden something happens, so ChatGPT goes to £200 or something like that, and or their servers go down across the tools. Do you think it's shifting the way that we work, in the sense of the relying on these types of tools for our work. Especially, I mean, with UX design, I think there's I'll call it a silver lining, but we still are very creative, right? So we have to create something from nothing. But
Yeah.
if these tools suddenly disappeared, how do you think the second brain element would be impacted?
So that happens, like literally ChatGPT goes down. My first port of call is like, hello Claude, or hello Gemini, or
All
hello.
the other friends, yeah.
There's loads of them, so it's like if one goes down, I'm like, it's fine. However, I only use it for my really like admin-y stuff and to make it quicker for me. So I'm double as productive. Like at work, they keep telling me to slow down. I'm double as productive as I've ever been before. So it just take me longer. Like I'm not getting to do anything I can't do myself. I'm just trying to be more productive. So
Nice. I have another question, but I'm not going to hog all your time. I'll ask later on. There's a question in the chat from Helen. Do you have any concerns about putting your intellectual property into open access AI? I work in academia and get this concern a lot from colleagues.
I'm very like open source person, mate. I'm like, if someone wants to build this dating app, they can do. Like, I just want to get Gannon a girlfriend. So like it's like I'm not doing this like for a profit making thing. Although it would be wicked if anyone wants to invest in it and like make me a millionaire. That'd be great. I would definitely say you need to be thinking about if you're using this for actual work. There needs to be a conversation there. So, for example, at the NHS, we don't use AI tools for a lot of stuff. You do not put any of your work information into ChatGPT or whatever like that. So it depends on the business's outlook. Me personally, I think everything should be open source, because if we all build stuff together, we'll make it better. So yeah, I'm like, give it all my data. I would get those Meta glasses if I could afford them, and I'd just record everything, and like Meta can have all my data and make a little AI version of me or whatever. So yeah, I'm very free with kind of data, that sort of stuff. I hope that answers the question. Adam, hello.
Hello. So how creative do you get with your prompts? Because recently, well, I went viral on LinkedIn for various reasons and had a few calls, and some of the people suggested some really useful stuff about how the more you type onto LinkedIn and the more creative you can get with your prompts, the more you can actually get out in quite a significant way. So for LinkedIn posts, for example, writing in more natural language, I've got a few prompts for, and even CV writing and
don't
letter writing.
Don't use AI to write on LinkedIn, please. Like you can
tell. No, but I mean you can write prompts in more natural language. So obviously.
Yeah. So I'll show. But I actually made a custom GPT that writes in the NES style. So the place that I work, they've done a lot of work on how you should write and like the language you should use. So I fed it all of that information, and then it will rewrite it in a natural way, so you can't tell that it's been written by AI. So I would always make sure that if you are going to be using AI for content, or like something that's good, if you feed it loads of examples of your emails, you can teach it to write like you. So yeah, like I'd say it's less about the prompting and what prompts you use, although that can, if you say write in a friendly tone, that can help. I would say it's more about the examples you give it. If you want to be natural, it needs to be natural like you, not natural like what it thinks Adam should sound like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's Paul. Paul is fabulous, everyone. He's one of my favourite humans. Hello, Paul.
Oh, God, that's a lot to live up to now. Becki, this has been awesome. Thank you. Scout and I have been loving this. It's so cool to hear all the different things that can be done. The thing that I've been wondering, the more and more we can do with just a click of a button, it's fascinating. And you've covered a bit, but how do we keep the human at the center of the UX, in your opinion?
Well, this is why when I was going through the user personas, hopefully it came across that you cannot build user personas by just putting it into open AI. You have to speak to people, and the more that you speak to people and find out about their problems, the more you'll be able to solve those problems and know what they are. So I really think that with user research, at the moment, before AI, like you would be spending, maybe you do one interview in the morning and you could be spending the whole day analysing that transcript. Whereas if you can get the AI if you've got your interview script and you have your transcript, which is of course redacted and no personal information will go into it, and use the don't remember this button, it will basically just write out a summary of all the questions that you've asked it, and then it can help you analyze. So rather than spending, like, you can only do one interview a day, you could do 3. I would not recommend doing 3 user interviews a day. It will knock you out, but we can spend more time speaking to people. So I would say if we use AI to do more of the admin tasks, and we can use our time to actually speak to the people, we are going to be making things that are better for people. So yeah, just speak to more people, I would say, to put humans at the center.
Awesome, love it, thank you.
No worries. Helen says, we use Copilot for the protection reasons, just doesn't do all the fun, exciting stuff. Okay, if you like Copilot, you need to see a company called WeChange. So I went to, it's a talk, it's called Shop Geek. It's in Shropshire, and it's like a tech event. And this guy called Andrew Boxall was presenting Microsoft are doing with AI tools, and they're all about privacy. They're all about making sure that your data is protected. So if you pay for their premium, your data is your data. It's not used anywhere, and that's like they're hanging their hat on privacy, which I thought that's really cool. And that's why like the councils and the NHS are going to be using like Microsoft over, say, OpenAI. But what his company does, so it's called WeChange.ai. What his company does is it looks at all of that employees do, and they find ways of making those employees more efficient. So they could say, oh, your employees are spending like 10 hours printing or attaching, and they suggest different ways, either automated by AI things or using tools that already exist. And like they did it with this council, and it saved them hundreds of hours, and that's our taxpayers' money back. So they're hopefully going to be getting into the NHS. So that is my company to watch. I'm going to find you their LinkedIn, because they do a lot with AI. But I literally this year, I'm like, you guys need to watch WeChange AI. They are going to be changing public services. I am not affiliated. I am just a major fangirl of this company.
It's interesting because I'd like to look into that company, because what distinguishes them between other automation tools as well, because there's like, I don't know if you've heard of what are they called? UiPath, I think, and then there's another company called Mimica. They do this sort of analysis of processes and automates all the processes of admin clerks, etc., and then it goes down to like a few seconds worth of like computing power. That's it. So it'd be interesting to see
what stood out. First of all, Andrew used to be a Microsoft trainer, and he would go into the councils and basically he knows all of the Microsoft projects like inside out. But they are just they're looking at making public sector better. So, because I used to work at Citizens Advice, and I saw I knew that doing something like that with like public sector is going to make such a difference. So I think I really kind of like warmed to them, was because they were trying to help the public sector rather than private companies fire their staff. So it was like, that's why I was like,
yeah,
I'll talk about WeChange like constantly. Like I just think they're great. So
yeah, I'll look into it. Thanks. Do we have any other further questions from the attendees? Anything intriguing you?
Cool. We can go eat some dinner then.
Is there anything else that you want to add, Becki?
I would just say, if you're not a member of Brum UX yet, I would definitely join, because that's where we have all these lovely conversations. I'm just going to put the link in the chat. Even if you're not a UX professional, you can learn a lot about stuff with UX. So I'm also going to put that in the chat.
You are a godsend, because you pretty much read my mind there. Because I was gonna.
You know me, I'm always about the social networking.
Yeah, I was gonna share a screen, but I haven't given Google my permissions to look at my screen and stuff, so I couldn't share my screen. But there we go. Thank you for putting that on there. Really appreciate it. And yeah, like Becki said, please do join the group, and we're looking as the community for people to participate as well. So just like Becki has today, if you are in the field or not, or but you have something interesting to talk about, or you want to come as part of a panel or something like that, please do get in touch. We are, getting momentum as a group, and as 2025 progresses, we're looking to get together more and more often. So it's great. It was a great turnout today. So many tickets sold as well. So well done on that. I think you're obviously a social media wizard somehow as well. So
you should see my TikTok.
Yeah.
I got 100,000 views on one of my dog videos.
Wow. Okay. You need to compare it. You need to post something about UX and see if you get just as many.
Most of my videos get 600. Apart from the Killy one where he's in a ball pool, 100,000 views. Me going to a concert, 600. Right. So I'm not as good as I make out.
Awesome. Any more? Otherwise, yeah, it's dinner time for most people. And Adam, go ahead.
One quick thing as well. There are many rumours that more AI services will be going behind a paywall. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Yeah. How in Samsung's last event, they basically said without saying that we expect before the end of the year our AI services, so mainly powered by Gemini, will be going behind a paywall. Many are theorising they basically didn't say how much they're going to charge, because the minute they say it's going to be Xbox Gates 2.0, I don't know if you remember when Xbox tanked, because he said we're removing certain features, and people suspect Samsung are fearing this is the case, that the minute they say, other companies will say we'll include this to get people to switch over to them. But yeah, it looks like certainly there's a distinct possibility many of those more premium services using a lot of things could go paywall, unfortunately.
It's one of those. It's kind of like, I'm like, well, if you want to put a paywall up, I'll just use something else. It's fine. However, you've got the debate of if you come up with an AI agent that can work 10 times as fast as a human, and that's behind a paywall, you've got a company that can't afford to use that agent. They're going to go out of business. So it's like for all the stuff I showed you today, any of the AI bots really can do that sort of stuff. So like, I don't think us as UX designers should worry, because it's just admin tasks. However, going forward, all of the information about like AI ethics it can be worrying. Like, a lot of people's jobs are like, there's millions of people in the UK that have admin roles, and really they could be automated, a lot of the stuff. So imagine millions of people lose their job, and you've got these massive companies that are using AI instead of people. Like, not to end on a miserable note, but I do think we need to be thinking about this. There's a guy called Chris Meyer who he ran School of Code. Let me find you his. He posts a lot about AI ethics, and he's quite a leader in the field. So he has a lot of debates about kind of that sort of stuff on his LinkedIn, so I'd recommend following him as well. If I had my way, we'd all get universal basic income. People that want to work can work, everyone else can volunteer and stuff, but you know what the world's like, it's not going to go that way. So this is miserable. What a nice way to end. But yeah, like, AI will make you faster until it takes your job. Hooray. It's not a good way to end, right? Do you
No.
wanna take us out on a positive note?
So I was just going to call out that there is one last question, and we'll leave
Ooh.
it at that last question. Stefano sent it through to say, do you see any improvements in ChatGPT after many projects and research? Is it learning from your pipeline, and what do you expect from it?
Yeah, I noticed this the other day. So when I was practicing this talk, I was going to do the example of the of my GPT that's about Javi McGannon, and it knows I'm talking about it. And I was going to do an example of the normal chat GPT, and I asked it about the dating app, and I expected it to be generic, but it started talking about my dating app because I've logged in as me. So it is bleeding through. But I've learned how to talk to it better. I've learned how to specifically give it like the more you use it, the better you get, the better relationship you have with it, and you can get it to do things better. So it is definitely learning what I want from it, and I've been learning how to talk to it as well. So I think that has helped. So yeah.
Awesome. And that is a better note to end on anyway.
That is?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Cool. Okay, thank you everyone, and thank you especially to Becki. Well done. That was an awesome.
Oh. Go on, Jenny. Last question.
Oh no, sorry, I accidentally put my hand up instead of clapping hands.
Oh, you were like
okay.
raising it in the air, going, Becki, Turkey. Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
No, really,
it's- yeah.
thank you
It's
for your
cool.
time, and appreciate the session, Becki. I'm sure people will get in touch. Please do reach out to her on LinkedIn as well. She loves the connection. So yeah, and until the next time, we'll catch you on the next UX in Brum event.